This is the Ticwatch Pro. This is the 4G LTE version. Let's take a closer look. So my friends, this is the latest smartwatch by Mobvoi. Now Mobvoi are an AI company that focus on voice recognition. This has launched in the UK just very recently in the last few days, and also in Germany. It has been out in the United States for a little bit longer. Before that there was the Pro Bluetooth version, but this is the first that has the Wear OS and 4G LTE. Now in this video we'll cover the design and the actual look and feel of the watch. We'll also look at some of the software and the screen, and we'll look at some of the other features that this has, and also look at the improvements that has been made over the previous generation. So in terms of what's in the box, all of the usual things. There's the instructions, the watch, and the proprietary charger. Now the first thing that you'll notice when you lift this watch is it has a significant weight to it. Not overly heavy, but it just feels like a premium product. It's made from a polyamide and glass fiber outer with a stainless steel bezel design. Now you've also got a silicone strap, and that makes it ideal for getting wet, for instance swimming. This is IP68 waterproof, but it would have been nice, because that actual bezel and the chassis is so good quality, I think it would have been nice to have a secondary strap included as well. Now one of the key features with the previous model, and is still present in this model, is the fantastic dual display. Now this is a combination of an LCD display and an AMOLED display, which gives you the best of both worlds. You get that always on and very long battery life with the LCD display, and you get the brightness, the vividness and the sharpness going into your Wear OS with the AMOLED display. So it really does enable you to have the best of both worlds, have a watch that lasts a long time in terms of battery life and gives a great screen performance. Now let's take a look at some of the other really important features with this smartwatch. It's a Snapdragon 2100 processor, but more importantly the RAM has now been doubled to 1 GB, and that has a dramatic performance gain over the previous models. It's IP68 waterproof and dust resistant, so you can go swimming with this watch. As we've already mentioned, it's got that amazing LCD and AMOLED dual display, so therefore you get the benefit of the extended battery life and also a vivid bright screen. This does feature 4G and LTE, so you don't even need to take your phone with you. At the moment that is limited to Vodafone in the UK and Germany, and in the US it's limited to Verizon. This features the ever popular Wear OS by Google with all the features, and I'll show you some more of those in just a second, and it has NFC Google Pay built in. Now this also features a built-in speaker, so you can take calls and obviously hear the Google Assistant feeding back to you at the same time. Both the AMOLED and the LCD screen perform really well in any light condition, so even when you're outside and it's very bright, you can see the time and the display very easily. Another great feature is the fact that when it does go into the power saving mode, you can still get all of the information of the activity that you're doing. So for instance, if you're on a walk or a jog, it will give you your heart rate, your calories you've burned, the time, and also the amount that you've been doing it. So lots of information still within that power saving mode. I mentioned earlier that this is IP68, and that means that you can dunk it in water up to 1.5 meters, and you can even take it swimming. Another great feature if you are swimming, and in fact this happens with a lot of the activities, it will detect what you're doing automatically. So all you need to do is start your swim by saying what size pool you're in, what your target is, and then you just swim. You don't need to do anything else. It will then record your activities, and at the end of that it will even tell you what stroke that you were doing, how much breaststroke, how much backstroke, how much front crawl for instance. And I found in my test all of the activities with the Tic Health and Tic Fitness worked really well. One area which I feel can be improved is the stock watch faces that come with the Ticwatch. Now, although it's not really an issue because you can go onto the Google Play Store and download a whole load of other ones, the actual ones which come with the Ticwatch I think look a little bit cheap and almost like a little bit cartoony, and it actually makes the screen look less good quality than it actually is. In fact, the only one that I like is the Google Fit one, and so that's the one which I and most people that I've seen have gone for. As well as the two buttons on the side, you've got access to shortcuts via swiping from any direction. Left to right will give you access to the Google Assistant, shortcuts to events, and access to things like weather. If you swipe down from the top, then you'll get access to the settings screen, and here you can go straight to Google Pay, you can turn on airplane mode, change the brightness, Go to Do Not Disturb and also mute the sound. Right to left will give you access to your tiles, which you can customize and change. And if you swipe up from the bottom, then you get access to all of your notifications. A single press on the top button takes you into all of your apps, which you can then scroll through. And if you then do a long press, then that will take you directly to Google Assistant, where you can ask it to perform different functions. What's the weather like in London?
The forecast tonight in London is 9 degrees with showers. Currently it's 11 with showers. The drive from your location to London is 139.7 miles.
So having Wear OS by Google installed on this device really does make it go to the next level in terms of function. All of the things that you'd expect to see on your Google Wear device you see here, as well as a few proprietary apps that Tic do themselves. Now, particularly the Tic Health app I think is great, and with its 24-hour heart monitoring is definitely something that you'd be interested in. But all of the other things that you'd expect to see from the Play Store to the Google Fit are all included. There's even things like a torch that you can press and get a white light. Doesn't really work that well, but it's just another nice feature. And again, in the settings screen, you've got a lot of different functions available. Another thing I like is the fact that you can customize the bottom right button. So I've got it so that it just opens the Google Store straight away. So one press and it will go straight into it. But you could have that launching into a fitness app or any other app that's installed. I mentioned earlier the Tic Health app, and I think that this is one of the best we've seen. Certainly with its 24-hour heart monitoring, it's definitely something that you're going to be interested in keeping a track of, and the fitness, the way that it just automatically detects when you're doing activities, is definitely something very, very interesting indeed. So guys, this is a very good smartwatch, and with that 4G LTE function, it's definitely great. What time are we going out tonight? Messaging and emailing also couldn't be simpler. You can either use the very accurate voice function, or you've got the swipe to type keyboard, which again is very simple to use on such a small device. It makes it a pleasure to actually use. So if you're in a market for a new smartwatch this year, then definitely consider the Ticwatch Pro. Now in the UK it's around £250, in the US it's around £300, but there are some discount codes available. Guys, I'll leave links in the description for you to check it out for yourself. Make sure you follow those links and get the very best price available in your location. But definitely this is something with Wear OS, that dual display, and having 4G and LTE, and even if you haven't got your carrier supported yet, there is so much to do on this watch. I am absolutely just super impressed by the whole build quality, the software, and also the functions involved. Guys, let me know what you think. Leave a comment in the box below. Thanks as always, my friends, for watching this video, and I really do look forward to seeing you on the next one.